Welcome to the Triple RS podcast with me, Ashna Takhtani. Here to let you know that no matter what you face in life, you are not alone. We do this through a safe, judgment-free community where we share relatable stories for relatable students from relatable scenes. Hey everyone, everything is fun in the golden yellow sun. Yes, indeed, and welcome to our new episode on the Triple RS podcast. Today is an episode that will be leading off from our previous episode, actually. So they're both pretty much on the same topic, and that is, what's the deal with affirmations? Our previous episode was actually our first ever guest episode with none other than my mom. Can you believe it? And wow, she was, I think, the best guest we're ever gonna have. And I say that maybe with a little bit of bias, but hey, it is what it is. So we basically spoke about what are affirmations, her experience on affirmations, and the reason I picked my mom as a guest for that is because every single thing in her life, up to her car, was all affirmed and manifested by her. Whether it is my birth, this house, her company, her partner, so my dad, the way he even proposed to her, her car, everything was all manifested. And so obviously she's had such successful experiences with this. And so I felt she was the best person to bring on to this show. And wow, does she share some wisdom. So we basically look at, what they are. Do they even work? If so, what are the common mistakes people make and the advice that my mom gives to people who are starting off for the first time? And it's really, really important little nuggets like that. But today, we will be actually diving in deeper to some of the methods. So we're looking at the more practical, how can we start to do it? Gratitude. Why gratitude is so important. Now, obviously, we spoke a little bit. We touched kind of base on that with my mom yesterday. So we'll just kind of be going over that. But first come first. Let's do our little true or false. So starting off for today, the true or false. Okay, here's a story. I don't know if you guys know this, but I started at age 7 with this whole thing. So my first ever thing that I did was radio presenting at a live radio station here in Dubai called Pearl FM. So back then it used to be in English. Now it's just in Arabic, but it's a kids radio station. And I had my own show, which I obviously produced. But the first ever show that I did, which I kept on doing for a while, was a morning show called Breakfast Club with Saif. So Saif was my co-host, and together we did it. I obviously, because I was going to school and I was only 7 years old, I only did the morning shows on Wednesday, so 1 day a week. But obviously, if they had it their way, they'd get me on every single morning. Now, I couldn't do that because I was just 7 years old. But the whole point of the story is that all of that came through an affirmation. And this time I'm saying it's true. So what do you think? So we've kind of had a bit of a pattern. Maybe it's true, maybe it's false. What do you think? Lock in your answers and post them on Instagram and we'll see what you guys think. And don't forget to tag me. All right, now that we've gotten the story out of the way, let's dive into, before we even look at the methods for affirmations, let's look at what are they? Right? So affirmations is a word that obviously we've been using a lot nowadays, especially if you're on my side of Instagram, you see this stuff a lot, like affirmations, manifestations. So what are they? Affirmations is basically any positive statement that you resonate with. So that could be anything, but as long as it's a statement and as long as you connect with it. Now, obviously we spoke about this in my previous episode, obviously with my mom, right? And she said, one very wise thing. She said, when you say connect, right, that doesn't mean the sky is going to light up and there's going to be some angelic music in the background. Connect could be even as simple as, yeah, you kind of understand that, you feel that, or maybe it's something that you want to work on as well. Maybe that's an affirmation, like maybe it's, I eat healthy every single day. Maybe if you want a healthier lifestyle and you just happen to come across this little statement, which is obviously very positive, then you resonate with it because it's something that is going to help you to achieve what you're trying to work towards as well, right? So connecting could even be a simple emotion like that. So just any positive statement that you resonate with, that's basically an affirmation, right? Now, the question that I think is popping up in everyone's head is, okay, do these things really work? Like, they're everywhere on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Like, everyone is just talking about them a lot more nowadays. So do they really work? Now, we spent a lot of time just diving into that and diving into different factors, and I received a lot of questions that people wanted to ask my mom, in the sense of, do they really work? Like, when did you first understand the power of affirmations? Did you ever doubt them? So we spoke about all of that in my previous episode. So if you haven't already heard that, what are you doing? Pause this episode right now, go to that one, because if you have not heard that episode, that is, oh my God, you are missing out on so much. And it really is, like, even for me sometimes, as much as affirmations has helped me throughout my life, which obviously we're going to find out how in this episode, alongside the way, don't worry, it's not just fully a storytelling episode. Even I have my doubts sometimes, right? And so obviously when I look at my mom, and she's such a role model for me in every aspect, but especially affirmations, I look at her and I'm like, wow, yeah, this stuff really does work. So I would suggest that if you haven't already heard the previous episode, go to it and you'll understand what I'm saying. So yes, they do work, and obviously that's a summary of my last episode. Now the most important question is how to affirm. So I think the most important part about this is that there is no one size fits all. Like, I think that is one thing that we need to understand. Even in our previous episode, God, you're going to get sick of me saying that, but oh my God, it's so true, because we spoke about so much. But yeah, even in our previous episode, we kind of looked at how the best part of affirmations is that they are so personalized, right? Like, yes, sometimes what works for someone else might work for you too, but it doesn't necessarily mean if it works for someone else, then it has to work for you, right? So there is no one method. You will find that even all the methods that we're diving into today, all are kind of based on similar fundamentals, that no matter what you're trying to manifest in your life, whether that is your dream partner, good grades, some profession, or something you want to get better at, a skill, a healthy lifestyle, whatever it is, these basic fundamentals in the form of affirmations, that is what's going to get you what you want. And that is guaranteed. Obviously, assuming that you get these few things. Now, what are these few things? Number one, I think it is so important. We cannot talk about affirmations unless we talk about gratitude. And this is not just my opinion. This is scientifically proven. So why? What is the science behind it? Well, number one, and I think, forget about even science, this is like kind of basic common sense. It's a story that my mom said, right? It's an example. Say that I am getting you a gift, right? It was recently my birthday. That was when we posted the last episode. So say it's my birthday, okay? And you get me a gift. And my reaction is, ugh, what is this? Like, I don't like this stuff. Why did you, like, seriously? Come on. I've seen you give better gifts to other people. Do you not like me? Is that what's happening? Because this is a really bad gift. Sorry, not sorry. Right? Now, just imagine that wasn't me saying it, but that was your good friend saying it. And you actually did give them a gift, and that was their actual reaction. Now, just for a second, visualize that and feel, how does that make you feel? Right? Not nice. Like, if someone ever did that to me, honey, I am not getting you a gift again. Like, that's not happening, okay? So now let's do the same thing. But this time, instead of insulting your gift, I'm appreciating it so much. Even if it's not what I wanted just yet. But hey, it's the thought that matters, right? So you give me the gift now, and I'm saying, oh my God, thank you so much. I love this. I wanted this for so long. Thank you so much. I am going to use it every single day. It's amazing. How did you know I wanted this? Now, how does that make you feel? Just for a second. If someone appreciates your gift like that, the next time you're going to buy a gift for them, you're going to be like, wow, she loved my gifts. Let me put in more thought. Let me give her something better, because she appreciated me and she appreciated my gifts. So, whether you believe in God or whether you believe in higher power or the universe, call it what you want. It is the same thing. It is an energy. So the way you treat that energy, the way you reciprocate that energy, that is how successful these affirmations are going to be for you. So if when you get something in your life, you insult it and you're like, oh, I hate this so much. Why do I never get what I want? Honey, trust me, you are never going to get what you want, because that is the kind of energy you're putting out there. And whether it's God or universe or higher power, that is basically what this whole thing is. The energy you put out there comes back to you. It is the simple fundamental of life. So, instead of insulting, be grateful. And now the science that comes with this, right, is when you are grateful, it's a positive energy that kind of comes around you. And someone who came up with law of assumption, right? So his name is Neville Goddard. And he said that manifesting is more about feeling what it would be like had you already manifested what you want, right? So when you express gratitude, don't just express gratitude for what you have already. But the most important thing, the most important tip to manifesting is be grateful for what you are manifesting for as if you have had it. I think you might have read this in a few places, but it's about saying things as if they're in the present tense, right? So let's say, I don't know, you want a healthy lifestyle. Let's say you have like a weight limit, right? I want to be taller. Personally, I'm saying, and people may mock this, but I don't care what anyone says. I'm growing taller, right? So I want to be 5'4", right? So instead of saying, God, why am I so short and this and that and that, just to say every height is beautiful, okay? I see you out there, my petite girls and boys. You guys are incredible. You rock this world, all right? Just as an example, right? Instead of saying, why am I so short? If you say, I thank God for having a healthy body, which allows me to do all of these incredible things that I can, which allows me to give back to the world. I thank God for giving me height, or I thank the universe. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. I thank the universe for giving me this height. I thank the universe for making me 5'4". Say it as if it's in the present tense. Like I said, people mock me, people think I'm crazy, but guess what, guys? I am loco, and I think we've established that already. But I'm going to manifest exactly what I want. And this is our second step, right? This is the second thing we're going to talk about today. It's called attitude of gratitude. That's the first thing. Next is the faith, the belief. I don't care what anyone says. I am manifesting this. This is my faith. This is my belief. And sometimes it is so easy to just lose track of that. Sometimes, some days, you are not going to be 100% into it, and that's okay. What do we do then? So the reason we're not always, like feeling that belief, sometimes we doubt it, it's because deep down, we're afraid. And this is where self-sabotaging comes in, right? So self-sabotaging is possible, right? And it happens when what we manifest is based off of a fear that we have not accepted. Now, my mom's technique was something that goes like this. Gratitude, right? Which we've already kind of looked into. Then it was our fears. What my mom does is she writes down her fears, and then from those fears, she creates affirmations. Now, listen to me. There's a difference between goals and there's a difference between affirmations. Remember that. If we create goals based off of things that we are scared of and deep down we believe cannot happen, it is not going to happen. So how do we get rid of that fear? How do we take that next step? Because otherwise, the things we want are never going to happen. Because let's be honest, deep down, everyone is scared. I'm scared. I know you're scared. We're all scared. So that's where our affirmations come in. And that's why she uses fears to create her affirmations. My mom had an example. She recently reduced 8 kgs. Whereas before, it was so hard, even with all the gyms and personal trainers, it was so hard for her to reduce even half a kg. So she thought she should cut down on her sugar. But the thing is, she felt she could not live without sugar. She was scared of that. That was her fear. So she wrote that down, and from that, she made an affirmation which said, I do not like sugar. At first, she did not believe it because she loved sugar. She couldn't live without it. But she said it again and again and again and again and again and again. And now, sometimes we give her, because she loves tea, right? So if we give her tea with sugar, she's not going to like it. Like, genuinely, I'm not even lying to you. I'm being so genuine right now. She's not going to like it. And so my whole family is shocked. We're like, what? When did this happen? But it happened. Because in order to achieve your goal, you need to first believe in it. And that belief comes from these affirmations. And these affirmations come from your fears. When you have this step completed, you are not going to self-sabotage yourself anymore because you truly believe. You may not believe the first time. You may not believe the first 5 times or the first 10 times. But you say it again and again and again, your subconscious mind will believe it. My dad used to tell me, it's like an example, right? Imagine in your mind, there are these two poles, right opposite each other. Now there's a thread that goes over these poles, like it's tying them together. That thread is what you say to your brain. So the more you say something, the thicker that thread becomes. The thicker that thread becomes, the harder it is to cut it. So basically, what you say again and again and again becomes deep rooted in your brain, and the more you say it, the harder it is to get it out of your brain. That's why we always focus on saying positive things, positivity always, and that's why affirmations are positive statements that resonate with you. Now, third step, visualization. Oh my goodness, I love this step so much. This comes in forms of vision boards. This comes in forms of daydreams. I'm not joking. This is your delusion, right? Now, you may call it delusion, as I just did. But guess what? The universe put that dream in your head for a reason. Because if it was not meant to be, you would never have thought about it. There are so many millions and billions and trillions of thoughts floating around in the world. So why is it that this one thought came to you? If you believe in invisible string theory, which is finding the right person at the right place and the right time, then this invisible string theory also applies to your thoughts and your dreams and your beliefs. You got the right thought at the right place at the right time, because if it were not meant to be, trust me, it would not be. It would not have even entered your brain. Certain things you don't think of them. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know that because it does not occur to you. It does not come to you because it is not meant to be as a belief, as a dream. So if you are ever doubting your goals, your dreams, remember, it came to you for a reason. All right? So it is your right to believe in that reason and to take action for that reason. So I love to make vision boards. I love to even just like a list of my goals, right? I love to just close my eyes at night. And the last thing I do before I go to bed, obviously after saying my gratitude, is I close my eyes and I imagine that everything I want, everything that is written down as in my goals has come true. I imagine that is already a reality. And I see myself there. I open my eyes and I look around and my surroundings are filled with what I am aiming for. Because if you've seen it, you will make it happen. And this is not only just as a manifestation technique. This is not only just to affirm and to believe it again, but this is to give you that little burst of motivation. I can see it. I'm so close. It's just one step away. Just one step away. Every day you are just one step away. So it's just a matter of believing. And that belief is so powerful. That is what brings me on to my fourth tip. Right. Now, when I was doing research for this episode, I came across a video. And in that video, this guy gives a line, and he says, it is the most powerful line, powerful affirmation. And I was like, yeah, whatever. People usually say that kind of stuff. There's no one size fits all. And I was like, whatever. I clicked on it, right? It was a 5-minute video. So I was like, why not? Let's just listen to it. Let's see what we get from it. And I kid you not, guys. I know I say it's there's no one size fits all kind of thing, right? But this one video contained of all of the basic fundamentals. And so I'm going to share it with you right now. The affirmation is, I can, I will, I must, because I am. So it's basically, if we break it down into its separate parts, right? It starts off with, I can. The guy says, everything you can. You can do everything you choose to. The greatest inventions of our lifetime, the plane, the light bulb, even like math, the number 0. Where did it come from? We think it came from divine, incredible human beings. But guess what? Those people are just like you and me. So how come they achieved such incredible things? It's because they believed they could. They had that faith. Because quite frankly, guys, you can. You can. I can. Everything you can do. There is nothing in this world that you cannot do. He says there is nothing called can't. There is only will and won't. It is a choice. People these days are too worried about reprogramming their subconscious mind and, how results are going to happen. He said results happen. They happen in this exact circle, right? Belief turns into actions, which then turns into results. But it all begins from the belief. So believe that you can, right? Because there's no such thing as can't. Only I will or won't. So the first part of this is I can. The second part is I will. I will do it. There's nothing, like we said, nothing called I can't or I'm lazy or I'm tired. I will do it. If you believe in this, right, then you have to be persistent. This thought came in your mind for a reason, and that is your purpose for the time being. That is your reason. So you must be persistent. Great people, take athletes for example. Great athletes don't look for motivation. They don't look for it. The days that they lack motivation, they understand that it's discipline. Motivation is great, but it doesn't last. What does is discipline. Because no matter how you're feeling, no matter how tired or how lazy you feel or what you've been through during that day, if you are supposed to train or go to the gym, then you don't look for motivation. You just accept that you have to, and you will. You will do it. Because it's persistence and it's discipline, and that is what makes normal people great people. It is that I will attitude. Because you can do everything. It's only a matter of choosing to do it, and that is where the I will comes in. Now we move on to the third part, which is I must. There's a saying called burn your boats, because only then will you be able to take the island. It came from a Spanish explorer, Spanish captain, Hernan Cortez in 1519. You can tell I love history. I take history, as a matter of fact, in my school as one of my subjects, but I'll make this fun, I promise. So he was basically, when he sailed to Mexico, he quite literally told his team to burn their boats, because then you have no other choice. You must take the island. You must achieve what you came to achieve. You cannot leave without. There is no leaving, quite frankly. So burn your boats in order to take the island. But why must you? You say, I must. Why must you? And that brings us to the final part of the saying, which is because I am. Because I am one with the universe. Because I am one with the energy. Because I am one with every single idea that has ever come in my head. God, or the higher power, put that dream, put that thought in your brain for a reason. Because that is your purpose. That is what you must live up to. So you can, because you can achieve everything. You will, because it's not about motivation, it's about discipline. That's what makes good people great people. That's what separates the average person from the great person. You must. Why must you? Because you have no other choice. There's no going back now. You've burnt your boats. You're going to take that island. Why? Because you are. Because that thought came in your head for a reason. That is your purpose. You know now. That is your destiny. That is your birthright to go after that dream. No one can tell you otherwise. It came in your head for a reason, and you will fulfill that reason. So I can, I will, I must, because I am. That is so powerful. Such a powerful saying. And remember, when you are writing your affirmations, add that feeling. The emotion that you get, add it. That's basically gratitude. That's what you get from saying gratitude. That's what you get from visualizing. That little burst of emotion that you get when you see yourself living your dream life. That is the emotion. So when you write your affirmations, put in that emotion. And last but definitely not the least, when you're writing, write I am. Like I said, I think this was in the visualization one as well, right? Visualize it as if you were living it. I am. And then say what you have to say. Keep it short so you can remember it. Keep it short so it makes sense. You can have many, but just make sure they're short. And make sure they have emotion. Feeling is the most powerful thing out there. It's all about energies. It's always been about energies. So that's it for today's episode. And we cannot end without going back to our true or false story. So, true or false? I started radio presenting at age 7, and it was incredible. It led me to where I am today, but it was only possible with affirmations. True or false? I said it was true. What did you lock in for your answer? Remember to post that on your Instagram stories. Make sure to tag me. Say episode 3 answer was true or false or whatever you put. Make sure to tag me so we can see exactly what you put. Well, I can't keep it in. It is true. It is true. I don't know if you guys know, but The Diary of the Wimpy Kid, I used to love that book series. And there was a book called Old School, right? And at the end of the book, there was a page of stickers. And one of those stickers said, I'll be famous one day. Now, I know it doesn't exactly align with the whole write it in present tense. But to be fair, I didn't even know what affirmations was when I was, 6 years old, 7 years old. So out of nowhere, I just stuck that on my wall. Visualization. I didn't even know what I was doing back then, guys. And out of nowhere, I was just having a daydream that I'm stepping out of this beautiful pink limousine and I'm attending this incredible person's birthday and she's so successful, and it just happened to be my birthday. I was attending my birthday. It was my 18th birthday and I was so successful and I was so happy and I was looking gorgeous and I'd achieved so much in my life. And then I opened my eyes. My dad comes in and he's like, what are you doing? And I told him what I dreamt of. And he said, you just believe in that, okay? Anything is possible if you believe. And so I believed. And I didn't know how, and I didn't know when, and I didn't know from where. I just believed. I believed it every single day. I looked at that sticker and I believed. I felt that emotion again and again and again. One day, after 3 months, we get this radio station's frequency, right? And it's a kid station. Now, when we were listening to it, it wasn't for any specific reason. I had a baby sister, and so it was nice as an atmosphere in the car, and we just listened to it every day, and they'd have a morning show with Breakfast Club with Safe, where I would call in every morning. All the kids could do that, but I called in diligently every single day. Persistence. Not for any reason, just to take part in the activities and talk and talk and talk. One day was my birthday, so they called me on air, and I got around, 5 minutes of airtime maybe? A week later, they call my dad up, and they're like, we love her so much. The way she speaks, she's so confident, her English is incredible, and we love her aura. So we'd want to have her on the show. And that's how it started. I didn't even know that I was using affirmations, but I had the feeling. I had the persistence and the discipline to call in every single day. Even the days I didn't go to school, I called. And obviously, from there onwards, that's how my journey began. And I have used affirmations for every single aspect, pretty much every single thing that I've achieved. And it's always worked out in some way or the other, in the most unexpected ways, but it happens. So just keep that belief and anything is possible. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like this episode. Don't forget to follow so the next time I post, you get the notifications straight away. And don't forget to share your comments. Are you liking the episode so far? Is there anything you think we should change or add? Remember, this is a podcast based fully on your experience and your stories and what you want. So share that. And if you ever have any fear or anything you're struggling with lately or anything you just want to talk about, remember, you can DM me on Instagram. I keep it anonymous on here. But one thing that you share could change someone's life, because that's what we do here at the Triple RS podcast. Sharing relatable stories for relatable students from relatable scenes. Changing the world one episode at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Triple RS podcast with me, Ashna Taktani, signing out.
1, 2